Good morning. Today is section 88, verses 61 to 80, and trying to lump all these verses into one major concept. I think maybe learning, maybe drawing closer to Christ. I want to say. When you break them up into 20 verses and it's 3 separate revelations that were compiled into one, it's kind of hard to paraphrase or summarize what these 20 verses is about. But anyways, so some good stuff in here. There's some stuff, but it's hard to lump them together. And well, let's see. Well, if you want to take it into the context of drawing closer to Christ, there's verse 62 that says, "And now I say unto you, my friends," you take that in and you're like, okay, I'm not his servant, although you are. I am. The royal we here. We are. His sons and daughters, we are. But here he says, my friends. And so take that into whatever context you need it to be in. But then in 63 it says, "Draw near unto me, and I will draw near unto you. Seek me diligently, and ye shall find me. Ask, and ye shall receive. Knock, and it shall be open unto you." And where did it go? Here it is. Ruger Clarkson says that, he says, Mark how clear-cut these words. There is no doubt, no dubity, like dubiousness, dubiety. It does not say, if, and peradventure you call upon the Lord, he may be gone on a long journey and cannot reach him, or he is very busy. His attention is now attracted to the nations of the earth. Probably he is busily engaged, and he cannot give you any attention. Therefore, you might as well cease praying. No, this revelation does not give forth any such ideas, and yet, think of it. He says to you and to me. He says to the poor man and to this poor woman. He says to this rich man and to this rich woman, "Draw near unto me, and I will draw near unto you." Yes, that poor widow down there, to whom nobody is paying attention, and who has very little influence, to her the Lord says, "Draw near unto me, and I will draw near unto you. My ear will be open to hear your prayer and to answer it." So, I don't know why I try to summarize or paraphrase what they just said when they say it so nicely. So he's talking about seeking out knowledge, and then in verse 74, this is the one I liked last night, and the one that I think is the not the blanket statement for this section, but one that should be looked at a little closer as like maybe a life motto or a home motto. So it says, "And I give unto you, who are the first laborers in this last kingdom, a commandment, that you assemble yourselves together, and organize yourselves, and prepare yourselves, and sanctify yourselves, yea, purify your hearts, and cleanse your hands and your feet before me, that I may make you clean." So he's talking about organizing a school of the prophets, sort of. He wants them to get together to prepare themselves, to sanctify themselves, to clean themselves, so that he can teach them, and that I may testify unto your Father and your God and my God, that you are clean from the blood of this wicked generation, that I may fulfill this promise, this great and last promise, which I have made unto you. But here, assemble yourselves, organize yourselves, prepare yourselves. Excuse me. Sanctify yourselves, purify your hearts, and cleanse your hands and your feet before me. Oh my goodness. I hate sneezing in the morning. Anyways. So, anyways. Ba 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 ba. So he, generally speaking, he's talking about the school of the prophets, where he wants them to learn and to prepare, to teach each other, to build one another up, to share their gifts with one another. So, Joseph is uneducated, and I think W.W. Phelps is like really educated, something of that nature. I can't remember which one they say is like super educated. Orson Pratt. Sidney Rigdon. Was Pratt or Rigdon a teacher? I can't remember. But anyways, he wants them to share their talents one with another, so that they can all be uplifted and be prepared for apostleship. He says, teach ye diligently of things both in heaven and in the earth, and under the earth, things which have been, things which are, things which must shortly come to pass, things which are at home, things which are abroad, the wars and the perplexities of the nations, and the judgments which are on the land, and a knowledge also of countries and of kingdoms, that ye may be prepared in all things when I shall send you again to magnify the calling whereunto I have called you, and the mission with which I have commissioned you. So he's saying, I'm sending you out to declare my gospel into the world, and you gotta have some kind of knowledge before you go. So, we're gonna teach each other, we're gonna build each other up, we're gonna share our knowledges, and then I'm gonna send you out, and you're gonna preach like you've never preached before. So, who is it? It's John A. Woodstow. He says, concerning this last verse, theology is not the only subject in which the elders should be interested. They should study things both in heaven, astronomy, and in the earth, everything pertaining to the cultivation of the soil, and under the earth, mineralogy, geology, etc. Things which have been, history in all its branches, things which must shortly come to pass, prophecies, things which are at home and abroad, domestic and foreign politics, wars, perplexities, judgments, the signs of the times by which the observer may know that the day of the Lord is at hand, a knowledge of countries and kingdoms, physical and political geography, languages, etc. These studies the Lord considers necessary. God does not require all his servants to become doctors or professors or even profound students of these subjects, but he expects them to know enough of these things to be able to magnify their callings as his ambassadors to the world. And there you go. So I don't need to be a political buff or a history buff, but I should know enough to where I can be an ambassador successfully. Alright, that's all I got. That is section 88, verses 61 to 80. And we will see you tomorrow.